very good afternoon to you tuned into our news this lunchtime. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa, coming in with what we have gathered so far this day, the 18th of September 2019, I beg your pardon. At least 160 people in Kawempe Trading Center and its environs have been arrested over power theft. That is in our first story this afternoon. This is in the second week of Umeme operation against electricity theft. Umeme Limited loses over 100 billion shillings in theft of electricity and vandalism of their equipment annually.
Several residents of Kawempe Division have been arrested for stealing electricity. This was in an operation by Umeme officials with support from Uganda Police Force.
We have disconnected over 200 installations with bypasses. We have gotten over 200 meters that have been interfered with. We also have several buildings that we have bought with direct supply and have been stealing power.
The operation, which is continuing and will soon be expanded to cover other regions of the country, is aimed at reducing power losses, curbing risks associated with power theft, and enhancing the quality of power on the grid.
We are seeing the benefit trickle in because the line that brings power to this area has dropped consumption by up to 10%. About 15,000 units per day have been saved because of this operation, and it's continuing. We are operating during day and night, and the operation is continuing, and we are urging the public to actually come forward and report those that are causing this energy loss, that are consuming power illegally.
Although some residents supported the operation, concerns on the cost of electricity units were raised.
Amasanze ga bei, amasanze unit kati eri mu 10, batusalire ku masanyaza amasanze galekera okubbibwa. Wabuli wootuuka amasanze ga bei tukole ki?
Nekati unit obanga ogisasulira nusu 10.
Service fee y'omuti, service fee oteekayo ettanga okusala 10,400 zote ziriiko service fee zo tozifunamu.
On average, Umeme Utility Company loses an estimated 100 billion shillings annually in power theft and vandalism. Penalties for the crime range from caution, community service, and a maximum fine of 2 million shillings.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has commended the U.S. government for the continued role and support in combating viral diseases like Ebola in Uganda and the region at large. He was meeting the visiting U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Service, Alex Azar, and delegation at State House in Entebbe. The U.S. Secretary is in the region to assess the Ebola situation in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and how Uganda is controlling the disease from spreading at the border with the DRC.
At a joint press conference at State House Entebbe addressed by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and U.S. Health Secretary Alex Azar, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni commended the government of the United States of America for its support towards the health sector in Uganda.
The American government gives us quite a bit of money each year, like $500 million each year to deal with the issues of AIDS and other health issues. When we had the first cases of Ebola in Uganda, we did not have a capacity here to quickly diagnose the sickness. We had to take the samples to Atlanta in the United States.
President Museveni says the organizational framework has made it easy for Uganda to nip Ebola and other hemorrhagic fevers in the bud.
That really Ebola is not such a big problem. It is only a problem where there is no organization. So from the village team, even if you escaped the border screening, the village team will quickly bring you up, or the person who came from this stranger has developed a fever. And quickly now we come, the medical people come in, and then you are. So it is really easy to deal with if you combine the border screening and the village awareness.
On his part, Secretary Azar appreciated the role played by Uganda in containing such outbreaks. He added that President Donald Trump's government has relentlessly supported health projects in Uganda because of proven capabilities.
It is important to note that Uganda does not have Ebola, in part thanks to the excellent surveillance efforts of the ministry. So, Your Excellency, thank you very much for the deep partnership that the United States and Uganda have in the field of public health.
The Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Cheng, also revealed that they are strengthening Ebola screening activities and numerous border points.
So along our borders from Koboko down to Kisoro, it is being manned not only by health workers, but by the various departments doing the work that they are assigned to do by the National Task Force, and under the jurisdiction of their different ministries. We usually have one report that we share, and we act as a team.
Samuel Senono, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Sam. The International Criminal Crimes Divisions of the High Court has yesterday allowed the Director of Public Prosecutions to proceed with the terrorism trial of former ADF leader Jamil Mukulu and 37 others. This is after court evaluated DPP's evidence and concluded that it was reliable to sustain all the 20 counts on the accused.
Former ADF leader and 37 co-accused persons have appeared before the International Crimes Division for a pre-trial ruling in the case of terrorism, murder and aggravated robbery, among others. While delivering the ruling, the registrar, Stella Atim, on behalf of Justice Ival Swata, confirmed counts of terrorism, murder, aggravated robbery, attempted murder, and belonging to a terrorism group, ADF, and that there was sufficient evidence indicating that Jamil Mukulu and 37 others can be tried.
Has, in these proceedings, provided sufficient evidence to establish substantial grounds for this court to believe that accused persons committed all the crimes with which they are charged. I thereby proceed to confirm the following counts.
However, Justice Luswata declined on the issue of torture, which was raised by the defense lawyers for lacking sufficient evidence to prove to court.
In addition, I have considered that victims' counsel have faced serious constraints throughout these proceedings, which has virtually shut out their clients at this stage. Even so, since my conviction is one that is below reasonable doubt at the trial, the prosecution will still be tasked to prove all the charges and the defense to contest the charges and defend themselves.
Mbasina Lukola, a lawyer of the accused person, says there was no justice in the ruling since the presiding judge did not base on facts produced by the defense team during the pre-trial.
The court today has confirmed the charges against them, including but not limited to those related to murder, terrorism. We objected against the confirmation of the charges as the same had been alleged by the prosecution.
Immediately after listening to the ruling, Jamil Mukulu informed the court that he is going to appeal against the ruling. Mukulu had also complained about intimidation of his lawyers by the DPP and his staff during the pre-trial.
I was tortured at Nagafrenia. I stayed in Nagafrenia for 14 months. I was tortured by one of Geoffrey Musala.
Let your lawyer do it formally, and then it's put here. Otherwise, mine was to deliver the ruling, and it is here.
But we as lawyers, we are going to take some time to weigh, to see whether it is safe and proper at this stage to appeal against the decision which has been made by court. We shall look at the legal provisions, we shall look at the procedure. Maybe the issues we want to raise can be raised before the panel of the 3 judges. Maybe it can be handled at a later stage.
Some of the evidence produced by the DPP paints Jamil Mukulu as the leader of ADF who would give orders to his 37 co-accused to carry out raids and commit murders to other Muslim communities between the year 2012 and 2015. The group is further said to have robbed guns, ammunition, a gold weighing scale, millions of money, and attempting to kill people in various districts of Kampala, Wakiso, Mayuge, Budaka, and Mbali. Among the prominent murders Mukulu and the group carried out was that of Sheikh Dakitor, Sheikh Moaya, and Sheikh Yunus Abubakar Madanga in Mayuge and Bugiri districts, respectively, and 2 police officers, including Mzamir Bale and Karim Tenywa from Bugiri police station. In the result, Mokolo and 37 others have been committed for trial before a panel of 3 justices of the same court, whom they will also plead to the same charges of terrorism, murder, aggravated robbery, attempted murder, and belonging to a terrorism group. The group has been remanded to Luzira prison.
That is Dorcas Chimono at the High Court in Kampala yesterday. A total of 24 people have been supported with artificial limbs from the Narayan Sevasanthan, an Indian group. The group has supported 600 with artificial limbs since 2016 and has supported over 600 people with disability with wheelchairs and other utensils.
And he lost his leg. Since then, he has been moving on crutches, and fending for himself and family has been difficult. Serubiri is among the 24 people who have benefited from a donation of artificial limbs from Narayan Sevasanathan, an Indian group.
Better to move easily on a very high speed than it has been before getting it, the artificial limb.
Dr. Tito Beyeza, a senior consultant orthopedic surgeon at Mulago Hospital, says supporting such people helps to bring hope in their lives, since they can be able to walk again without using crutches.
Some have lost their limbs due to accident, or due to infection, or due to cancer. But when they get an artificial limb and are able to walk again, and sometimes also be able to walk without use of crutches, it changes their life. It turns their life around. They can gain full employment. They can go back to work.
The Indians have pledged more support to people with disability.
Children, for big people, that they can't be part of the main life. And as the NSS Uganda and my friends in other Indian community feel that we have a responsibility towards our brothers in Uganda who need help. Narayan Sevasasthan Uganda is doing help for disabled people.
Many people become disabled due to accidents, and police statistics show that 17,000 road accidents occur in Uganda annually. Adiana Kute, UBC.
Men aged 40 and above are at the risk of developing prostate cancer. At the Uganda Cancer Institute, 400 to 500 new cases of prostate cancer are recorded annually. In our Health Radar today, we look at the risk factors, symptoms and treatment for prostate cancer.
The prostate is a gland only found in males. It is situated below the bladder and plays an important role in reproduction.
Produces certain chemicals that help in that process of reproduction. The other smaller organs that lie in it work together. But this organ called the prostate is connected to other organs, so it doesn't work alone. It's connected to the testes, okay? It's connected to the bladder. It's connected to these other small organs we call the seminal vesicles through a system of tubes. And also the prostate has major vessels that run through it. And these are nerves. These nerves control urination, sexual function, and control of urine. So you can see how important this organ is, very strategic organ. So if one has a problem with the prostate, the symptoms will be around those organs I've mentioned.
This gland is prone to prostate cancer, which is the most common cancer among men, especially those above the age of 40.
But top among these factors that are known and that worry most people is a family history of prostate cancer. So you have one brother, you have another, maybe your parent who has cancer. If you have one person in the family who has cancer of the prostate, your risk is about 25%. If you have 2, your risk goes to 50%. If you have 3, your risk goes to 75%. So the higher the number of people in the family, the higher. And the other thing that we know is being Africans, for example, in communities where they are both white and Africans, it appears through studies that many Africans tend to develop cancer of the prostate. Reason is not very clear, but the genes.
At the Uganda Cancer Institute, 400 to 500 new cases of prostate cancer are diagnosed annually. Dr. Fred Okuku, a consultant at Uganda Cancer Institute, explains that signs of prostate cancer start showing in the advanced stages, and these include painful or difficulty in passing urine, frequent urination, blood in the urine, and difficulty in passing stool. For this case, regular screening is recommended at least once in a year.
So screening is somebody who has no cancer but goes to check. Like men who are above 40, 50 years, going to check routinely. Don't check once in 5 years. Routine check. That's the only way you can catch it early. So you keep monitoring the markers, you keep doing the images, they check the size of the prostate, is it enlarged, you know, that kind of thing. And then the doctors can decide to do a biopsy when they see something suspicious. And this they do through many things. They do scans, you know, ultrasound scans that either pass through the abdomen or under in the rectum. MRI scans, those are very, very sensitive to pick up anything in the prostate. So that's the way they do that. And then, of course, the doctors also put a finger in the rectum. They call that a dictorectal exam. That's one of the other things we do. That's actually the first thing we do. And then a blood test called a PSA is still very useful because the level can alert you when there might be a problem.
Like other cancers, prostate cancer is curable if diagnosed early and effective treatment is administered.
Surgery is one of those for those who are early. Hormonal treatment, radiation treatment, chemotherapy treatment. So they all depend on the stage.
Diet like refined sugars, red meat, excessive alcohol, caffeine, processed vegetable oils must be avoided, and instead foods rich in zinc and selenium need to be consumed. Adiana Kuti, UBC.
With the educative story, we're taking a very short break. On return, we have business, international, and sports. Please keep around.
Three. What's up with number 3? It's 3 at Airtel and not 4 anymore. It's 3 shillings per second across all networks in Uganda.
Make calls from Airtel to all networks at 3 shillings per second. Get to talk to anyone on any network anytime at 3 shillings per second. Tuanzi Saze!
Airtel, the smartphone network. Airtel is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission. Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
We are going to Nambole on the 27th of September in the National Deliverance Day.
Tugenda fenne Nambole ng'ennaku z'omwezi 27 omwezi ogw'omwenda mu linnya lya Yesu.
Nambole agenda kuyuguuma amaanyi ga Katonda.
Nambole is going to shake the power of the Lord.
Wabula yennaku mbale zokka.
It's only countable days.
Katonda anaatera okwabya obwengula.
God is about to render the heavens.
Afukirire Nambole n'emikisa gya ssente obuwanguzi n'okusumululwa n'amaanyi ga Katonda. Buli muntu analinnya mu kisaawe ekyo agenda kulaba Katonda nga bw'atamulabangako mu linnya lya Yesu.
He's going to see the Lord that is never fathomed in the name of Jesus.
Emizimu gyakankanye edda.
Demons are already shaken.
Ng'ennaku z'omwezi 27
on the 27th, Jesus.
Kuba engalo n'endulu ng'oleeta banno baganda bo basenga abo mikwano gyo ne b'okola nabo.
And on return from the break, we'll go straight to business news this afternoon. The National Social Security Fund, NSSF, will pay a lower interest rate to members for the last financial year due to a drop in its total income. While declaring the interest rate of last year, the Managing Director, NSSF, Richard Biarwaba, said that the overall income reduced by over 402 billion Uganda shillings due to a decline in regional equity prices and currencies. We have it in detail.
The Managing Director, National Social Security Fund, NSSF, Richard Biarugaba, says there was a general depreciation of the regional currencies against Uganda shillings, both Kenya and Tanzania currencies, by 6.1% in the financial year 2018-19.
That drop in value has to be taken through the fund's holdings in foreign currency markets and its equity positions accumulated a loss unrealized of 402 billion shillings. So that is the big number. That loss includes the loss on our equity position, but it also includes the loss on our foreign currency amounts.
That depreciation in currencies directly affected the overall income of the fund by over 402 billion shillings.
Our equities were at around 17–18%. So they have reduced to 15% of the equity, and our real estate has stayed around the same. Share of equities has dropped, even though we are holding more shares than we were holding at the end of the previous year. That is as a result of the huge loss in value on our equity shares.
This decline will affect members' interest rate as per the current benefit scheme by not matching the recommendable 15%.
That means that in principle, our members share in the profits, but also share in the losses. Given our performance this year, the fund will not match the interest rate.
The Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kasaija, is expected to declare the new interest rate at the annual members' meeting on 27th of this month. Abdul Nasir Luwama for UBC News.
The insurance sector in Uganda has registered positive growth despite the economic times. This is attributed to the positive perception by the locals as well as continuous sensitization by the regulator and sector players in the sector of insurance.
When one compares the insurance penetration and awareness in Uganda, 2018 was a good year to some of the firms. An increase in penetration from 0.81% to 0.84% in the year 2018 was recorded by the Insurance Regulatory Authority. 9 out of 21 non-life insurance companies operating in Uganda made profits for the year. Britam is one of the companies that made profits in 2018, recording a 114% growth in profit to 2.98 billion shillings.
The challenge we had
where others were not playing according to the rules, but that has since changed. After our CEO retreat and AGM, we got the regulator to limit installments for those who may request, because before that, other insurers were just debiting anything and carrying debt as they were before. That means, sorry, with due respect, shallow-minded, competing on debt. I mean, that's the one thing I would never want to compete on. We chose the race, we set the rules, and everyone is following the rules.
Whereas this is something to jubilate on, the performance is low compared to the rest of the countries in the region. Kenya's insurance penetration stands at 3.4%, Tanzania's at 2.3%, and Rwanda at 1%. To help increase penetration and visibility, Britam is investing 120 billion shillings in ICT, enterprise resource planning. Uganda's insurance industry, on the other hand, faces numerous challenges that include product designing that fits the locals, underwriting and claims management, with leading insurers already playing a front-runner role in driving their adoption. Ngabo Amon, reporting for UBC TV.
We now take you beyond Ugandan borders. Unofficial results in the Israeli second election in 5 months suggest it is too close to call. Incumbent Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's party and that of his main challenger, Benny Gantz, are neck-to-neck with 32 seats each. A Prime Minister needs to command a 61-seat majority in Parliament. The smaller Israel Beitenu party appears to hold the balance of power. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving leader, is vying to win a record 5th term in office. Netanyahu, who leads the right-wing Likud party, has pledged to annex Jewish settlements and a swath of other territory in the occupied West Bank if he is returned to power. Palestinians who seek a state in the West Bank and Gaza, with its capital in occupied East Jerusalem, have warned such a move will kill any hopes of peace. Gantz, who leads the centrist Blue and White Party, has not advocated any form of annexation, though his position on the creation of a Palestinian state is unclear. Like Netanyahu, he has ruled out ever dividing Jerusalem, which Israel considers its capital. Away from the election, where we'll keep you updated because they are counting the votes as we speak, we go to Saudi Arabia, and there the U.S. has reportedly identified locations in Iran from which drones and cruise missiles were launched against major Saudi oil facilities on Saturday. Senior U.S. officials told the media that the locations were in southern Iran at the northern end of the Gulf. Saudi air defenses did not stop the drones and missiles because they were pointed southwards to prevent attacks from Yemen, they added. Iran denies involvement in the attacks, which disrupted global oil supplies. Yemen's Iran-aligned Houthi rebels said they had launched the drones that struck the Abqaiq oil processing plant, the world's largest, and the Quraysh oil field. They have launched attacks into Saudi Arabia before, but the U.S. officials said on Saturday they believe the drones and missiles did not originate from the south or southwest and instead were launched from the north or northeast. With that, we come to the end of all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. Journalists are already on the ground coming in and gathering news. Let's get back to you in our subsequent bulletins. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa. Keep it UBC TV. Good afternoon.
Three. What's up with number 3? It's 3 at Airtel and not 4 anymore. It's 3 shillings per second across all networks in Uganda.
Make calls from Airtel to all networks at 3 shillings per second.